Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney.
Exciting day for you, my friend.
I know, right? Oh, and I didn't even mention episode 16.
What's so significant about episode 16?
16 candles.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Molly Ringwald.
I was going to say, which one of us is Jake Ryan?
You, definitely.
Or Farmer Ted. Farmer Ted.
I'm whatever you call it. Long
Duck Dong?
Yeah, that's who I am.
Yes. I'll be Long Duck Dong. You can be, you're Long Duck Dong.
Yeah.
I'm Farmer Ted.
There you go.
Bam. None of us were Jake Ryan.
No, dude, that guy was.
Yeah.
He had it all going on.
Pretty much how it works. But anyway, so it's our 16 Candles episode.
He would have got Rachel McAdams. Like me.
That's true. Yeah, you're not getting Rachel McAdams. Which, by the way, 16 Candles, just throwing it out there. Have you ever been 16 candled? Like where somebody's forgotten your birthday?
No,
because
never.
It's happened to me multiple times. I was born
multiple times.
Yes, I was born on Thanksgiving and around Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're screwed.
How that happened? So,
yeah.
So numerous times we've been sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner, and I don't say anything because I'm cool like that. And somebody's like, "Oh, well, I'm thankful for these mashed potatoes. I'm thankful for this." And then somebody goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, I think it's Matt's
became
birthday."
An afterthought immediately.
Yes, and immediately they all go, "Oh, happy birthday!"
Oh yeah, happy birthday!
Yeah.
We knew all along. We just were waiting.
Exactly. So I've been 16 Candles more times than Molly Ringwald.
It's. How do you think my brother felt? He's October 14th his entire life. Birthday. Mm-hmm. Has a kid born October 12th.
Ooh.
And then everyone forgets his birthday is 2 days later.
Well, pretty much.
And get this. Our special guest, their anniversary is when?
October. And thanks for the card, Jeff. That was really nice.
You got it?
I was about to intro the special guest by seeing if
we are going to intro them still.
Yeah. I was gonna intro the special guest to see if you really had been Molly Ringwalded, but apparently not. Apparently, it's your brother that's been Molly Ringwalded.
Yes, absolutely.
A few times. Well, he's
outdueled by the anniversary and his kid's birthday.
He's not here, but folks, we have extremely special guests today.
Yes, we do.
And I think we've teased it once or twice. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was actually really going to happen until Mooney sent me a text last night, probably at 10 o'clock, saying, "Oh yeah,
that's good show prep for me, right?"
I know. You know what? You're right. It just meant, "Oh, quick! I have to." No, I see. I said quick instead of saying the words I meant to say.
That was some advance warning, at least. It was a minute amount.
Yes, because I will say that Subfacts Studio usually is not cleaned, but when I knew that at 10 o'clock at night, I found out that, I had to straighten up a little bit.
There you go.
It doesn't look it. You guys couldn't tell off the bat, but I think I sprayed some
it's
of that
hard to
extra
clean
snow.
posters and, pictures of all the concerts you've been to. And
yes, but it's got a cinnamony scent.
Yes.
So we've got the fall scent, At least that's
I'm
what
surprised the
was on sale.
store-bought mini muffins didn't give off the muffin.
Yeah, the fresh baked mini muffin scent. But anyway, I think you guys can establish that in our studio we have Mrs. Mooney and Mr. Mooney.
The parents of Mooney.
Yes.
We're here.
It's unbelievable as it sounds.
So,
And just to let you know, Mom never forgets son number one's birthday.
Never.
Never. And
Or
we
son
have
number two's.
Son number two is right behind us. No, we don't. Moms don't forget.
well, there you go. You get it.
Well, wait. This mom doesn't forget.
Yeah.
There are moms who forget birthdays.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to call you out. One of these days that we'll have my mom in to rebut everything that I'm saying, even though it's the truth. And so anyway, thank you guys for showing up to Subfacts Studios and being on the show.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. And folks, I think Smorgy was right. Mr. Mooney does have an infectious laugh.
He does.
Yeah, or he said, I think Smorgy said something like it was pure joy.
Yeah, pure joy.
Yeah. So I think we need that laugh captured.
For like Christmas time, so like joy to the world.
Yeah. No, but it actually helps.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
a lot of times when it's just us, I can't tell how people are going to react to our stuff.
Oh, we do a laugh track so we make ourselves feel better.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's the Mr. Mooney laugh track.
Yes.
Solid. And so welcome to the show. And let's see. I have questions, but I think you wanted to give a little bit of an
I think
intro.
it's a very interesting story how they met.
Okay.
I get told I don't remember it, so maybe I need an enlightener because apparently I remember just the highlights. And now they're saying I don't even have the highlights right. So this will be an education session for me.
Okay.
What's that saying
okay.
you always say? Good answer, but wrong.
We've got that just reminded me. I got to
See, she's comfortable now. That's what
I know, right?
didn't take long.
And I will say that we didn't need to get you guys drinking because we typically need to get Mooney drinking.
We've been natural at this
Okay.
for a long time.
Awesome.
So anyway, going to the story, I was in the Coast Guard. I signed up for 4 years. I won't go into the length of time about getting into the Coast Guard and stuff like that, but I was in the Coast Guard. And I was dating several women at the time.
Way to go.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it was a thing to do. I was looking for a wife. I had reached my peak, and now I was looking for a wife. That's what I wanted to find. That
There you
was my
go.
ultimate goal. So, dating a lot of people. I dated one of the girls that I dated, lived in Brooklyn, okay, on Decatur Street. And I was going to take her out on a date. And I'm walking up the step or the stoop, because there were stoops in Brooklyn. Used to play stoop ball. That's another story. And she, my mom, was sitting on the stoop with her friend Gail. Okay? And they were
Gail.
checking.
Gail from Brooklyn. Hopefully she'll write in.
But here's the thing though, like Gales aren't. I have met maybe 1 to 2 Gales that are attractive.
I don't think I've ever met an attractive Gail.
Maybe back in the day, like Gales were attractive, but
It's kind of like a Blanche.
yes,
Like, who names their kid Blanche? Like, you set them off to.
you're done.
No.
If they're named Blanche, they're never going to get asked out.
That's pretty much what it comes down to. Although, if you're a dad and you have a daughter and you don't want her asked out, you go, "Hey, she's now Blanche."
So I
Okay,
was dating.
wait.
Okay.
You have to give that little background. Why? How you
See,
met.
my dad has it wrong.
Ooh.
No, you
That's
just need
part
some
of the story,
background
but this is
information.
Okay.
the important part of the story.
Okay. I had a girlfriend who lived on Decatur Street, lived up the block. She came home one time and said, "Oh, I met this guy at one of the dances, and he's in the Coast Guard, and he's going away for a year, and he's asked me to write to him." She says, "I hate to write letters. Me, on the other hand, love to write letters." She says, "Would you write the letters for me?"
Oh, this was like a
I
Cyrano
said,
de Bergerac
"Oh,
type of thing.
okay."
Awesome.
So for maybe 6 months, not a whole year, and not that many letters, but he would write a letter. I would respond signing her name. So now he's coming home, and they're having a date. And I says, "I got to see what this guy looks like that I've been writing to." So now I'm sitting on the stoop, and he gets out of the car, and he's going to pick up the friend. And we looked at each other, and there was something that happened. Because I went home, and I told my mother, I felt something. And she goes, "Oh, you're crazy. Stop."
Was it only? Do you think it's only because you wrote the letters to him and that you knew more about him, or
No, I think
it was just sheer looks?
That was
Okay.
it.
It's a chemical thing.
Okay,
So,
like pheromones.
There was a chemistry.
yes. So after that, it was maybe 2 weeks later or something like that. We were on the beach. I was with the same girlfriend. And we meet Byron and his friend. And Byron says, "Oh, why don't we go out tonight on a double date?" So I went with his friend. This is the one you remember, Jeff.
Sly move.
I know, right?
He knew what he was doing all along. He didn't want to double date with El Galo or whoever he was.
Poor Gail.
No,
she's
it
off
wasn't
somewhere.
Gail.
Gail.
It
It
was-
was a D.
Oh, D. Okay.
D.
So
D.
poor D is crying on her pillow somewhere right now.
I'm sure Dee Dee met someone else and found the. Oh.
No, really?
Speak up, Mom.
Poor.
Never married.
Oh no.
Oh, you homewrecker. And you.
Well, see, that's what my mother was so afraid.
Wow.
She says, "You're going to go out with this guy. The whole neighborhood's going to talk about you."
Uh-huh.
I said, I have to go. That's
Wow.
I'm doing it. Go. Our first date
Mm-hmm.
is at my cousin's wedding. So
This is
my
after the
ring-
double date. No, wait.
Okay,
This
the
is after
double
the
date.
Let's
we go.
take that,
we
rewind it
go
back to the double date.
Okay, we go
Okay,
to the
so-
movies. Go ahead.
Right. Go ahead.
And Byron's playing footsie with me in the movie. He made sure
What?
he sat next to me.
Jerry, my friend, okay, knew what was supposed to happen. What was supposed to happen in those days, we were just dating. It was a casual date, nothing.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to switch. Okay, so Jerry knew about the switch. Okay, and so he sat over on the end. Okay, Geraldine sat next to him. I sat next to Geraldine, and on the other side was Dee. So I was going to switch, and then Jerry was going to come over, but it didn't happen.
Oh.
Thing didn't happen. But what did happen is we were playing footsies with each other. Geraldine
Yeah,
and I.
the footsies was definitely going to happen no matter what. That was, which is funny because I think that's a Mooney trait. Because I've been to a few flicks with your son, and I don't know why, but he seems to reach over. And so, wow, okay,
The apple doesn't fall far, my friend.
So,
I swear.
anyway, so she, it didn't work out. But there was a connection made. So I called her to make a date, okay, for Jim's, let's call it Jimmy H's wedding.
We're talking rotary phones.
We're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
rotary
Oh,
phones.
yeah. You waited for the guy.
Oh
to
wait, and
call.
what about the phone numbers back then? They didn't
They didn't
have.
have.
Evergreen
They didn't
Cell
have
was
the
a name
no
and a
area
number.
codes.
It was a name and a
Name.
number.
Oh, really?
Like Evergreen, blop, 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 blop.
Wow.
Mine was Twining, blop, 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 blop. Okay?
Wow.
And you had to know Evergreen or Twining or that. So I called her up and I said, my friend Jim is marrying the police commissioner of New York's daughter. And it's on a yacht that's going around Manhattan. And there's got to be about 250 guests going around Manhattan. Wow. So I found out
cool.
from
That's a
it's
stud
police
move.
commissioner.
It is.
And had two bands, one on each deck. But I found out then that it was a single request. In other words, they didn't want me and a date.
No, that was after you asked me.
Oh, so this is like.
I asked her,
yeah, so-
because I wanted to go out
And I
with
said
her.
yes.
So you kind of
She
got
said
busted
yes,
because it was
and
a
then
one
I had
only.
to call up and say there was no guest invited.
Oh no.
So I call her up, going, "Oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
There's no guest invited." And
I go, oh, that's great because my cousin's getting married next week. And the guy I was supposed to go with just called and said he can't make it. So would you like to come to my cousin's wedding? So
Oh.
he said yes. So our first date, he met the whole family. The
Wow.
mother, the father, the
And weddings are
brothers.
terrible for guys anyway. Just as it like, I've never.
I'm
been
not a fan of weddings.
I can't stand weddings, so I
was
feel
an
bad for you.
impeccable dresser.
Oh,
Yeah.
Back
yeah.
then, impeccable.
Oh, same with your son. Same with your
Yeah,
son.
yes,
He-
similar, yes.
He's actually helped my fashion.
Be that as it may.
I know.
Whoa! When I was going out to meet the ladies, I actually dressed.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
No, he does. He actually
Once
he
I
really does.
once I cornered somebody, and then it's for shorts and t-shirts all year long.
Growing
I
up was not that the case.
Describe my outfit.
You had a suit with white socks.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
or-
you wear a suit with white socks? No,
I
No,
would.
you don't
but
wear-
I
You're
would.
he's saying he's the good dresser.
he's not.
Thank you.
No,
I'm not.
Okay.
You wear the white socks
I
too.
totally do. I rock white
With
socks
a
like a
suit?
champ.
No one wears.
I
white
totally would.
Oh my
I
God.
don't
had
look
a-
at. I
I'm
don't
the
look
sock
at,
guy.
I'll be honest with you. I don't look at feet. I don't look down. So
He doesn't like feet.
I really don't. And so I would have been lost at footsies.
But I had green corduroy, an off-green corduroy suit type of thing.
Okay.
With ribs. I had my Coast Guard shoes, and I had a pair of white socks.
Yeah.
So
No handkerchief and the little lapel there, or
it was,
okay,
that was the best I could do with it.
okay.
Oh, hey.
Right? Because I grew up in a time of chinos, Madras shirts that bled, and bucks.
A tight pair of chinos.
But you know what, though? It doesn't matter because my man was all around because he had Gail, Dee Dee, all those people.
Apparently.
So really, it just shows, it goes to show that the clothes don't make the man.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, you know, the way
Byron from the block, man.
I'm just telling you.
So
you
we
know.
went out on this date, and I was introduced to the family very well. The father, all he did was snicker, sort of laugh.
Yeah.
Mama controlled the whole action. Okay.
Well, she did for a long time, right?
Right.
You want to tell them what she said to you?
Right.
Uh-oh.
She looked at me. She says, "Mike, this is paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact words, but she said that my daughter is a romantic. Okay, so keep it in your pants."
Hi, nice to meet you.
Wow. Wow, she went right there.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. When I met my father-in-law for the first time,
Yeah.
he literally accepted the bourbon that I gave him, and
Oh, because that's a quaint gift.
well, I was told ahead of time that I had to provide a thing of bourbon, so I gave him the bourbon as like a peace offering, and he basically said, "I'm an ex-Marine. I have killed people before. You wouldn't be my first."
Dude, he Brian Mills to you.
He totally did. And he said, if you notice, we're in the hills of Pennsylvania. No one will find you.
Yeah, scream as loud as you want. It won't help.
Yeah. So he said, if you touch my daughter, I'll kill you. Hi, welcome to the family. You know? So I'm with you. I
We
understand.
started dating, okay, under some rule, okay, and I slept over one day, okay, and I'm on the couch. The princess is up a staircase, okay, so there was a staircase. It was a two-family home. Up the staircase in a separate room was the princess, all right. I slept on the couch, and it was one of those railroad rooms, okay? You don't find many railroad.
I have no idea what a
homes.
railroad room is.
Okay,
It's
there's a
4
kitchen.
rooms in a row.
Oh, okay.
Railroad.
Oh, so it's like a whole
Yeah,
long
there's
hallway
dining
with
room,
different.
bedroom,
Oh, so-
bedroom, living room.
Oh, they do
okay.
that a lot in the city, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Brooklyn, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Queens.
So the kitchen's on the side, okay? And her mother liked to change the decor all the time. In other words, the dining room then became a living room. And then the living room then went to the back for another area room. All right, so it changed. So I'm in the couch in the front room. I'm looking over, and I'm watching the rest of the rooms. The father comes out of the bedroom, okay, and he's wearing one of those muscle T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
The muscle
Yeah.
shirts
Yes.
with
Hopefully no tidy whities.
the and nothing underneath.
Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
so but it doesn't matter because those shirts hang down.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, it depends on how endowed you might be. You know.
So
Sorry, Mrs. Mooney.
I'm,
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm sorry.
This took a tangent.
I'm watching from the couch, and all of a sudden, her mother had a habit of moving furniture. And she obviously moved an ottoman that he didn't know about. So as I'm watching, he's falling over the ottoman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And saying hello to the world, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
I
And
said,
this is your first sleepover.
Yeah.
yeah. And this is my induction. And I knew from that moment on.
She
that
was
this
perfect.
my family. Yeah.
Yes. You're like, welcome to the family.
I woke up.
The father waking up in a muscle T-shirt, stubbing his toe and bending over. This is the woman for me.
Yes.
So I'm looking. I'm looking at going to the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, and her mother is in a slip. That's it.
Wow.
She's in a slip.
What is going on?
The mother is well endowed,
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
but she protected herself because in the slip she held a handkerchief, and that protected her from everything.
Oh, there you go.
So I said to myself, I'm drinking coffee in the kitchen with her mother, who's in a slip.
And mom's still sleeping?
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
the princess was
upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah, but she's romantic. She's supposed to, she's supposed to wake up with like birds
Right.
chirping and
Yes,
and
flowers.
woodland creatures just sitting outside the window.
So let's fast
Wake
skip
up
to
in the
fact that we're
morning
dating.
feeling fine.
And in this house, in this Brooklyn house, there's a vestibule. Not many people have vestibules.
I have no idea what a vestibule is.
It's a small entrance area to get to the main house.
Oh, okay.
And the second apartment, of course, is upstairs. So we're in the vestibule saying goodnight, you know, the typical kiss goodnight. And the curtains, because it's windows and curtains, the curtains were shaking, which was her mother's way of saying, enough, go home.
Yeah. It's better than yelling down at you, I guess.
Yeah, well, no,
That's how I picture New York. Like growing up in the city, I picture, you always see in movies just people just yelling down from the window. So that's how I picture it. So
that's normal.
much nicer. Yeah.
You know that advertisement way back when and said, hey, Tony, Prince Spaghetti Day?
No.
Yeah, well, there was one. Hey, come on in, Tony. It's Tuesdays, Prince Spaghetti Day.
What?
Back then, the parents would yell out the window, Anthony, come home. It's time for dinner.
What if there were like four
Yeah.
Anthonys?
Well,
Yeah,
in
well,
New York,
but-
that's what I'm saying. Is
You
everybody
have to
just
like
shows
know
up.
your
She
mom's
knew
voice?
Your mom's voice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, if you were with
Well,
the other
you're-
Anthony,
in
you'd be like,
fairness-
that's your mom. No, that's your mom, right?
In fairness, yours has become famous on the show.
I don't know why you think I have an accent. I
Well,
don't
no, it's
have
funny
one.
is Mooney doesn't have one,
No.
and I was
Because
gonna,
I lost mine.
I have questions about that. So
You
so,
lose it over time. There's no question. I used to have one. When I went to school, I had one.
So I had never heard. He doesn't have an accent, and so when he first played the voicemail, I had never heard from you before, and so I was like, wow, I just can't comprehend you two being related, and so
I have to tell you a little story.
mhm.
When we moved to Virginia for
Uh-oh,
4
is
years,
this
and that's
is
where
this the test?
my son was born.
Uh-huh.
But his brother, son number one, was in kindergarten or first grade. No, kindergarten, because he came home and he says, "Mommy, guess what? I'm 5." And I says, "You will never be 5. You are 5."
So and that brings up a point.
okay.
This is going to be more of an inside joke, but I think the folks who are listening to our show, they'll probably pick up on it because there's a never-ending argument amongst Mooney and his friends, and so when you say where you're from, where I'm.
I love this.
So when you say where you're from, do you say where you were born, or do you say where your formidable years were? Because
If you ask
For
me now,
instance, Mooney was born in Northern Virginia,
right?
but he claims to be from New York.
Yes.
And so the question is he from Northern Virginia or is he from New York? And-
His
From
former
New York. He was born in Virginia, but he's from New York.
See?
okay, so we're getting it on the record.
And that was a serious tone,
I
too.
did that to help you out because
There you go.
your friends clown you all the time.
I know.
And so, because for instance, I was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but my formidable years were in Philadelphia.
And then you say you're from Philly.
So I would say I'm from Philly.
Right.
And so, but he's got some friends. Not
Both of
me.
them are
I'm
New
usually
York,
on
though,
his
their
side.
entire life, though, right?
Excuse me?
Both of you, New York, your entire life until you moved to
So
Delaware.
we moved to Virginia for 4 years.
Oh, that's
Other
right. You
than
moved to
that,
Virginia, but you were
Yes.
born in New York, moved to Virginia for a little bit,
Right.
So, folks,
70 years, 60-something years.
okay, so it's official. We've made it official on the show
Nice.
that Mooney is officially from New York,
Awesome.
and based on the Mooney parents, doesn't really matter where you're born; it's where your formidable years are.
Exactly.
So it's official.
By the
It's
way,
done.
once you go back to New York, you start talking like this.
You need to do this. Like we're going to take a field trip up to New York. How long would it say until you pick the accent up again?
2 days, 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on
I can't afford
depends
that.
on who he hangs with, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like certain friends of mine didn't have the accent, but other friends talk like this the entire time.
So we need to do a Subfacts like live remote from New York just so we can get
Live
your
remote from New York.
Yeah, but I don't
What
want
are we
to
live from Saturday night?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to have to stay there for a couple of days for you to pick it up though. I need you to
The
pick it
food,
up. Like,
by the way,
right
you
then
would
and there.
you would go there to stay because the pizza there is unbelievable. You could have it.
Oh, I would do that. I can't afford it. That's my problem.
Ah, gotcha.
Say quarter.
Quarter.
Okay, say water.
Water.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't because the Philadelphia, is that what you're asking?
No, because
Brooklyn.
in New York it's quarter. And
Water.
Oh, because
coffee.
in Philadelphia, I used to get goofed on. They used to call me proper boy because in Philadelphia, they always say wooder. And I would raise my hand and ask the teacher, I'm like, I don't see how you're saying wooder when it's spelled water.
In New
And
York, it's soda, and in
Pop.
Virginia, it's pop.
Yeah.
yeah,
You want some pop?
Western New York is pop too.
I think the Midwest says pop. As
Oh,
well.
when I went to college, they were like, "You want to pop with that?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to pop. I don't want to be hit in the face. Like,
Yeah.
all I want is a soda."
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
In Virginia, they asked your mother if she was getting gas, and
Oh,
the guy
that's
said,
right.
He says, "Can I change your all?" And I went,
All?
"What?" He says, "Can I change all?" I said, "I'm sorry, I really don't know what you're saying." He says, "Yeah, all." I said, "Change your oil."
Awesome.
In Virginia, one other story, because we went to Virginia. We were Jets fans,
Oh, this is good.
right? And we
Son
dressed
number
him.
one. Son number
Son number one,
Right,
not
so,
me.
Yeah, but we dressed him in a Jets outfit,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Dolphins.
So he went out, excuse me, you're right, in the Dolphins outfit because they went 17 games and right through
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
72 Dolphins.
So he's in a Dolphins outfit, thank you, and gets out in the streets of Manassas, Virginia, and gets beat up
Wow.
because
And he couldn't have been that old.
5-year-old
That's what I'm saying.
getting beat up.
Who beats up a 5-year-old?
those
Other
are
5-year-olds?
serious people down there.
Yeah.
What did we do as parents, responsible parents? We went out and bought him a Redskins outfit.
right away.
Well, you know what, though? That's good parenting right there because, some people would stand by their convictions and, hey, son, you got to work it out. That's, we're Jets fans.
And a little insight to your buddy over here, okay? He loved his chicken. He
It
used
was
to
a little
ride.
plastic chicken.
Oh,
Really?
boy.
He
Yeah,
used to
little
ride-
plastic chicken.
This is the stuff. This is the stuff that I need. So,
And I've always loved food. They got a picture of me like eating turkey on top of a counter.
yeah, no, I don't doubt that. It's the chicken stuff that I need to know. So who spanked Mooney first?
Oh, me.
You
Dad never
so,
did that
No.
stuff.
So you were the clear
I
you were the
would be
Punisher.
arrested today.
Wow.
Yeah.
The wooden spoon.
Really?
She wielded a wooden spoon like Conan wields a
and
sword.
We heard about your ear pulling too, which I'm thankful to have the
Not ear,
headphone.
Hair.
Oh, hair pulling.
Yeah, I always pull their hair.
Oh, okay.
No nonsense.
So that's why he has short
And
hair
friends,
today.
like I said, friends too, right, Mom?
Oh, I still see. We went to
Anthony.
our friends.
Anthony?
Yeah, and he looked at me. He said, "Mr. Mooney, you're not going to pull my hair, are you?" I said, "No, Anthony. I'm not."
That's just your patented move. Just to, that's awesome.
But there's one occasion Jeff was very stubborn, and you were young. He was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and he came over and he wanted something, and I said, "No." He goes, "I say yes." I said, "I say no." I say yes. So there goes the wooden spoon. Whack.
Wow. Hey, there you go.
I say no. And he goes, "I say yes." I say no. Whack.
Wow.
I say yes. I say no. Whack. Now I'm shaking. I said, "I'm going to have to kill this kid."
Or you just
because
need a
he's
bigger
gonna-
spoon.
He finally walked away.
Oh, there you go. Wow, look at you,
very
determined.
stubborn.
Well, see, that was my next question. What's the worst thing that Mooney did that you know of?
Oh,
Because I've seen
sure
some things.
there's-
I've seen some things, but I don't know what he. I don't want to out him. So that's.
Well, we get
Oh,
outed
he was
during
a
the
good
show,
kid.
but
He was a good
No,
kid.
I wouldn't say.
He was a good kid.
And he would argue. Even back
Yeah.
now, he wanted to go to what was it, Meadowlands or something, with Andy that night. He wanted.
yeah, concert, I
And
think.
he said, we're going to go. I said, you're not going. He says, I'm going. I said, oh, you're not going.
Yeah.
And that went back and forth. And
Did you bust out the spoon at that point?
I was older
When
then.
we're
He
beyond
was
spoons.
older.
Oh, okay. You just go right to the
he
knife.
didn't go. And he would get lost. Him and his friends would get lost.
I don't doubt that.
Around the block. I mean.
Yeah, his sense of
And-
direction is terrible.
1.5 miles from town, Greenlawn. Okay, him and his friends went walking to Greenlawn. They got lost going to Greenlawn, and he made a turn down a cul-de-sac. Turned around at that cul-de-sac, come back to the transfer point, and went the wrong way again.
And to this day, he doesn't like driving, and I think it's the same reason.
Yeah.
Like GPS was invented for him.
It really was. I love GPS.
Okay. So the next question is probably going to get my hair pulled.
That's
I don't
fine.
want.
You have a hat on. And
I know.
ear- I can't-
I've got a hat on and ears covered
I'll have to wait.
just for this. But so you guys have heard the show, and a lot of we argue back and forth about music a lot, and I have to usually apologize to the fans for Mooney's take on music because it's usually pretty bad. Even that brought up somebody
Oh, I
asking
don't
if he
know
was
about
raised by
that.
wolves, which
Wait a minute.
I can
son
say he's
number
not.
2 is pretty good. I might
Son
have-
number two.
he's son
Son number 2,
me.
you're son number 2.
Son number one's better at music than I
Yeah, I
am.
think son number 1. I've met him. He seems.
But
to
I'm
know
better
his-
at movies
Yeah, you got movies down.
and sports.
Son number 1 planned his whole wedding. He planned every
the
song
the
that was going to
songs.
be played at his wedding.
Yeah, he did.
See, he's the wrong one. I'm not interviewing. I'm like, he doesn't want to do the show with me. so this was the most like the second voicemail that we got was your reaction to somebody asking if he was raised by wolves because of his lack of music knowledge, and so. Was music not being played in your house when he was growing up, or was it?
There's always music.
There's always music in the house.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them call it now elevator music. But
Well, it was a lot of Oak Ridge Boys.
Yes,
It was a lot of country.
country music.
Well, I had asked Matt and Mooney before the show if they knew Dave Guard, Nick Reynolds, and Bob Shane, and they had no knowledge of the Kingston Trio.
That's true. I failed that one, and
Well, I mean, you and 7 million other people would fill that.
and you know what's funny? I heard about the Kingston Trio from that movie A Mighty Wind, which was about a folk band, kind of
Right.
like Spinal Tap, and they mentioned the Kingston Trio in that. So I've kind of known about them, but I
Right,
have
loosely.
I don't know them. I wouldn't know their
What
names.
about Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Yeah,
That you knew.
Yes,
yeah.
of
I actually
course.
saw Mary
the
at a.
Limeliters?
Never heard of the Limelighters.
Okay.
No,
Glenn Yarborough?
Yeah.
heard the name. Yes.
Okay. These were the
But didn't Peter, Paul, and Mary have another one? Didn't they add somebody?
No, it's
Wow.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Okay. Thought
But,
they had somebody else.
No, Bob Denver wrote stuff for them. I know that. But not Bob Denver. That's Gilligan. John Denver. John Denver. I'm thinking Bob Denver. I'm like,
different mother.
which by the way, this past
That John Denver's full of.
yesterday was the anniversary of John Denver's plane crash. It was
Never
and-
fly in ultralights.
exactly.
Never fly ultralights
Well,
off the cliff in California.
When you're when you're an amateur pilot, you probably shouldn't test out
Yeah,
a
why
brand
would-
new experimental plane. I just
don't
want that
get
on
that
record.
amateur pilot stuff. And
Like if I'm an
flying,
amateur pilot, I'm going to be flying what Delta
like a
flies.
Boeing 757, like a stuff
Yeah.
that can land itself.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody to go, "Hey, I just created something."
I got this paper airplane.
wanna
I'm
try
sure
it?
it'll hold you.
Yeah, yeah. Dumb move.
Yeah. Dumb move.
R.I.P. John Denver.
Wait a minute. Instead of playing the clip,
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
come on, please.
Okay, folks. It's mailbag time.
No, wrong
about
one.
the person who crashed his
Yeah,
plane.
the person who crashed his experimental
that
plane.
person should be punched in the face.
Awesome. we got the official live version. Awesome. Okay, so there was music being played. He just didn't really have a natural.
Nobody liked my film.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Which, by the way, I have my best friend I've mentioned a few times on the show, not by name, but similar situation. I pretty much created his whole music playlist because he really didn't have a thing for music. Right. And I asked him, I was like, what kind of music was playing around your house all the time? Because I grew up with a single mother in the 70s. And so I heard Barbra Streisand, Carole King, all these, but it was constant music around my house. And his dad, when they would go on vacation, would play train music. And I'm sitting there going, like, train?
Like the band Train?
Choo-choo? No, the band Train didn't exist. But it was like, I guess it was probably more like folk music, but it was more like, traveling chugga chugga choo choo, I guess. And I'm thinking that's what it was. So I wasn't sure if you guys had train music.
No. We had regular music. It just like Anne Murray, like I said. Okay. Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
Well,
I think my first concert was Kenny Rogers, I think, or Oak Ridge Boys.
Greenwich Village was heavy in that time.
Okay.
And we used to go to a place in Greenwich Village that the bands used to play. One of the new bands that came over from Ireland was the Clancy Brothers. Tommy Makem and the Clancy Brothers. And we would do a lot of Irish tunes, Irish music. Never caught on.
No.
Okay.
You would love that, Irish music.
I do like Irish music. I think we play it for Christmas time.
I see you enjoying it at the bars. Like, you're Mr. Bar. You would be awesome with old Irish.
I don't like traditional music. I like old stuff.
Okay.
Motown.
If we wanted some time, okay, and DJs do this, if you want some time to talk or arrange your papers, you'd always put on MacArthur's Park.
Oh, no.
And it was a long song.
Yeah. Donna Summer.
No, that was the short version.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I know
Richard Harris.
Oh,
Richard
you're
Harris.
right. Richard Harris did. That was a cover. And that was one
left
of those.
the cake out in the rain. Trust me.
No, yeah, because that.
MacArthur's Park is melting in the dark.
Right. Someone left the cake out in the rain.
Yeah, which that always made me cry as a little fat kid.
The line of leaving the cake out in the rain.
Yeah, but I
couldn't get past that.
I heard the Donna Summers version, and I had no idea that it was a cover of Richard Harris until like a year ago, and
that was the big version.
Awesome. Okay, so there was music played around, and I've asked the question about New York and Manassas. Who had to teach Mooney about the birds and the bees?
Not me.
No, there wasn't any really teaching.
You guys didn't have a conversation. There was no.
I had a conversation with both my boys, and I would sit down on the couch, not at the same time.
That would have been weird.
That would have been really awkward.
And I took out my checkbook.
Really?
Yes, and I showed them every check I wrote and what it was for. And so Jeffrey had the best response. I'm sitting there showing him the checkbook, and he's going, "You pay for telephone? You pay for oil?"
Yeah.
I said, yes, we pay for all of these things.
I don't think he got the question.
The birds and the bees.
Yeah.
And the bubblegum trees.
It was.
Is this to show how much? Because I was sitting there going, "Oh, so it's costly to have." I was gonna say.
I don't remember him talking about.
I'm sitting there going, "Well,
is Mom running it alerts?"
That was a lead-in to the fact that he didn't know much about life.
Oh, yes.
That there are things you have to pay for and things you do. I don't think his mom and I ever explained to him those kind of facts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's why he's always buying gifts for his bride. So that explains it. So
Hey, where she cleaned the whole
I
entire
know.
house this morning?
Because she's famous for putting something on Facebook, going, "I really want this," and then the next post is, "Oh, my husband gave me this gift and all this." So that's where you learned it from. If the talk was the real talk,
Yeah.
you'd be rich right now.
Well, there's a tradition in the Mooney household, okay, where I would go out. She'd say she'd like something. I would go out and buy what I thought was it. And I knew it wasn't
I fall the
it.
same victim.
When I came home and she said, "That's nice." Nice meant you did it wrong.
Yeah. Good opinion, but wrong.
No, we've learned.
I think all men fall into that. Like, you
No,
get told
I established that I'm cheap right off the bat. And so, and this is true. And I hope my dad's not listening, but what my mom had told me, and this could be, I established I was raised by a single mother in the 70s, and there may be a reason for it. But I think I got my cheapness from him, because when they were dating, he would have her meet him at the candy counter of the movie theater, so she had to pay for her to get in. And so,
that is, oh my God, genius move.
yeah. So it could have just been venom spewing out, but I picked up on that. I was like, that's genius. So, and I've established my cheapness right off the bat. And so my wife doesn't expect anything other than, a nice card, but nothing. I don't think she's ever going to expect diamonds or furs or.
Byron's learned. It was our anniversary a week ago, and I came home and I said, "Oh, you are just the best husband because you buy the perfect gift for me every holiday season." He goes, "Oh, what did I buy you this time?" A really nice necklace. It's just what I wanted.
Well, I had a mentor in life that I was going on a date with somebody, and I was asking him. I said, where should I take her to dinner? What's a good first date situation? And he said, take her to 7-Eleven and buy her a Big Bite hot dog. And I was like, are you serious? And he said, well, you don't want to establish yourself as something you're not. So don't take her to a really expensive restaurant because she'll think that's what you do all the time.
Good advice.
Wow.
It was great advice. And so so he said, so don't set the tone, because later on in life, they always say, he changed. It's always 6 months later. He used to take me out to really expensive restaurants. He used to shower me with gifts. And now he changed when he went back to what normal would be. And so, yeah, Big Bite hot dogs. Nice. Solid.
Is that what you did or no?
No. I went to, actually, no, I didn't want to get killed. I went to, and I was thinking, okay, do I upgrade it to McDonald's? Do I, and I settled on Outback, which, as you know, is my favorite
that's your go-to.
of all time. That's my go-to, because I took that to heart, because I wanted to say who I am.
And they probably knew you there.
And,
like,
yeah. So I'm Outback. Like,
hey,
Outback
Matt,
was
your
a
table's ready, right? Now
Yeah.
you're looking cool. All suave.
I can pull Outback. I can't pull Morton's, so I'm not doing that. But
Wait a minute. What movie did you see when you played footsie?
oh yeah, do you
I
remember?
have no idea because I wasn't paying attention to the movie.
It couldn't have been good.
I was.
You don't even remember the movie.
No, I do remember when Daddy took me to Radio City and we saw Dr. Zhivago. And that song, Somewhere My Love, that was our wedding song, because that was our first time we went to the city.
Somewhere My Love. I don't know that song.
Laver's theme.
I don't know that song.
Da-da-da-da.
See, we all sing. That's
I know.
it's a Mooney trait.
That's another Mooney trait.
Like 5 verses and then it's done.
So
We have another little story about restaurants. I usually get to pick the restaurants. And I said,
No.
And I said to him, you really should pick. Why don't you pick tonight? He goes, no, Geraldine, you pick. I said, no, please, you pick. He goes, all right, Chinese. And I looked at him and I said, pick again.
wow. So the parents' Moonies aren't all Asian. Like,
No. They love Chinese, but it's just
yeah.
I had
She is
Chinese like 2 nights ago. I don't want
Okay.
Chinese again.
Mrs. Mooney likes a plethora of different kinds of foods. If she could, she would be an hors d'oeuvre person.
Yes.
In other words, walk into a restaurant, give me a sample of everything you make.
My wife is the same exact way.
yeah.
Same with
She
mine.
loves, like, I want one big dish of something that I like. She wants, like tapas, those like just little things so she can try everything. I'm like, there's no reason to try everything.
Yeah.
You just need one good thing and a lot of it.
And-
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about Mooney, okay, but one of Mooney's traits, which always amazed me, was he would never settle for what was on the menu. He would realize from the menu what they had, and then he would arrange the food that was to be brought.
Yes.
So if I know you have this, and I know you have this, then why don't you put this, and this together and give me the dish?
He does that all the time. But the funniest thing about Mooney is, and I was actually just telling somebody this the other day. So what always makes me laugh is it could be on a Monday, and we're talking about what we're going to order for lunch on Friday. And I'll say, hey, on Friday, let's do pizza, or let's do, let's go to Jerry's, subs and pizza. And he'll on Monday go, I'm going to order this, and that. He tells you what his order is. And so we had a running game at work because we would see how many times we could get him to say what his order was, and without realizing that we were goofing on him. And so he said his order like 13 times. Like literally, I'd go, I'm not really sure what I'm going to get. What are you going to get again? And he's like, well, I'm going to get a number one. I'm going to get, And so, yeah, he picks his order. And then on Friday, we would purposely pick another place to go. We'd have somebody that would go, yeah, I'm not really feeling that anymore. Maybe we should get something else.
Oh, that's nasty.
And that would just set him off.
Yeah, I get it from my mom. Like, I hate when plans change.
Yeah, and it's so funny. His head just explodes. It's hilarious.
That's why. Pick again.
Yes.
So we went, when I asked her that, I told her I was going to marry her about 2 months into it?
Yeah.
That I'm going to marry you. We got married a
2
year and a
years.
half later, I think. And we used to go to Pizza and Pizza King on Long Island. And why were we going to Pizza King? Because it was cheap,
Yeah.
and we were saving up for the wedding.
There you go. Can't argue that.
So we were practical from the get-go.
You more than me.
Yeah, well.
Well, you're a romantic, so
Yeah, right.
it's one of those things. So my last question before we get to the rest of the main stuff.
Oh, there's another show?
Oh, we have a whole bunch. We have a whole way to go. See,
well,
but you see
really hard at this stuff.
Do you see how I know? See, folks out there.
It runs in the I tell you.
I now have 3 Moonies that don't do any show prep and just show up.
You got a live show of All in the Family right
I
here.
know, right? So thank you guys for starters for coming in and doing this live. How do you feel knowing that you're such a big part of the show? Like with your sound
Oh, I
drops.
can't wait to go home and tell all my friends, you got to listen.
So are you real? You do?
Of course.
Do you have friends that listen to our show?
Not yet. Oh, well, they've asked me, how do you get on and all this? And I said, well, I'll tell you. I said, but I don't know if you want to listen to the whole thing. I said, they talk about things. I don't know what you're talking about
Oh,
half
okay.
the time. The movies, the artist. It's your era.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not my
Oh
era.
yeah, it's more 80s,
Yeah.
more
I have
80s
no
based
idea.
stuff.
I go, you mention a band's name. I go, okay.
Well, I do the same thing because Matt listens to bands that no one's ever heard of. So
Oh, which is we're going to talk about that in the mailbag.
So,
You need
Kate
to do a
Smith,
senior citizen.
Kate Smith, yes, Flyers.
You know Kate Smith.
Absolutely, I'm a
Okay.
huge Flyers.
that's
fan.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians.
Yep.
Mitch
Oh, don't mention Canadians.
Love
A boy
me some
loves me,
Canadian.
Canada.
I was meant to be in Canada. There was a.
Colder.
I love it. I could sleep. I'd go swimming in Canada. Like I was raised in an igloo, and so in and out of ice rinks, and so I'm just constantly used to being cold, which I prefer. So at one point I almost moved to Canada, but then
Came to your senses.
no, life just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But what I found out was there was a lot of Canadians are the friendliest people known to man, but they don't want Americans coming up to take their jobs because there's fewer jobs than what we have here. A lot of Canadians come down here for jobs, but when you do the reverse, they get angry. So I wasn't feeling that at the time.
Yeah, you didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but anyway, I do often think what life would have been like had I moved to Canada.
You wouldn't have met us.
That's true.
You'd probably join a drum and bugle corps.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drum and bugle corps.
And let me tell you about that. It would have been. It would have
See,
been
you would have had a
great.
Canadian accent.
I know,
It
right?
wouldn't have taken you
I would
long.
have had an awesome Canadian accent. And so, so anyway, with that being said, thank you again
Very welcome.
for doing our show. We are going to, you know what? I was going to play the sound clip, but I think
we have it
since we
live.
have it live, does somebody want to introduce us?
Is it mailbag time?
Yeah,
I think it is.
Hey, okay, folks, it's mailbag time.
Yay! We get the live.
the live version.
Yeah, I don't have to do any sound bites today. So, mailbag.
Okay.
We had a Subfacts first, which I thought was funny, and I'm not sure what Kyle in Vegas was doing at the time.
Uh-oh.
I have a feeling there may have been some kind of an herbal situation going on.
Herbal enhanced
Maybe.
reply.
Because most people, when they do, when they send us stuff,
CBD oil, maybe.
maybe I can't tell the difference between the various things, but anyway, most people when they do the mailbag, they write one full email. Unless you're Brian from Berryville, he writes a novel.
Right, yeah.
But Kyle in Vegas,
He has an editor. That's
yeah, Kyle in Vegas was apparently listening to the show and got so heated throughout the show that he wrote one email and then he got more heated, so he wrote another email and then he finished it off with another email. And so
what did he get heated at?
So we got 3 emails based on one show, which and I'm not going to lie, the venom was more towards you, so
Or all toward me?
yeah, kind of that's how it works.
More/all.
I'm the innocent in this one. We've only had like one email that trashed me, but
That's it. One.
Yeah.
Everyone else trashes me for some reason.
I have no idea why.
Well,
Maybe
that's
if you
'cause I
did,
open-
maybe if you did more show prep.
Well, I
and
open-
didn't just so. Let me.
I
tell-
can't help it if I have correct opinions about things.
Okay, well, let's go into Kyle's first email.
Okay. What is he going to do? Defend Rush?
Well, let's just say that was in the email, but not the first email.
Okay.
So the first email was, what it was almost was Mooney raised by wolves, because how do you not know who Ginger Baker is? So, because remember Ginger Baker, R.I.P., died last week.
But trust me.
So
There was no RIPs on our Facebook going Ginger Baker.
he was shocked that you didn't know who Ginger Baker was.
Like I said, me and 7 billion other people don't know who he is.
Well, you might be wrong. So
Well,
then we get to, so then this is where it's funny. So he's like, great show. I don't know how Mooney doesn't know who Ginger Baker is, blah, 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 blah.
because I'm a smart American. That's why.
So then he goes into the next email, which was called "Going Over to Virginia, Setting Up an Octagon." I'm like, wow,
An octagon.
Yeah,
Wow,
like the
that's
whole like UFC thing.
That's venom and violence
and
rolled
we
into
didn't
one.
we didn't even talk UFC, and so I opened it up because I'm curious, and then all of a sudden it's, how can he disparage Rush like that? He goes, I actually named one of my kids after the band Rush, and I'm thinking, wow, he named his kid Getty? That's awesome. And so, but anyway, Rush, he holds very passionate and wants to actually come down here and take you on in the octagon, which I think would be awesome. Like,
No, I
think
can't fight.
You would be like, you've established that
I can't fight to save my life.
and I'd probably be worse than you, so I can't even tag in to help you. so I got
Over not liking a band?
I got scared for both of us, really.
There's a lot of people who don't like Rush.
No, well, you were a little harsh. I think you were a little harsh. And just Kyle from Vegas, I love Rush. I think Rush is fantastic. One of my favorite bands. So I'm just trying to do damage control for me.
My brother loves Rush. I just can't help liking a band where the guy sounds like a hyena and the drummer is average at best.
The drummer is arguably one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Gene
Better than-
Krupa,
No,
Buddy Rich.
I was hoping for Buddy
There
Rich to
are
come out.
Very good drummers.
No,
See?
Neil Peart, because he changed it. It used to, everybody says Neil Peart, but it's Peart.
That makes him even dumber.
So anyway, Peart used to do stuff with Buddy Rich and would be, and I think he would say Buddy Rich. But I mean, if we're talking about, drummers from our generation, Neil is by far the greatest. And so anyway, Kyle
Better
from
than
Vegas,
Dusty Rhodes? I mean, Dusty Baker?
Ginger Baker.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so anyway, Kyle from Vegas. The Octagon is not meant for me. It's meant for Mooney, but since he's my boy, I might have to tag in. We'll both get beat. So, but I will say then he sent a third.
A third?
Yeah, and the third was kind of like, it was more on the upbeat, hey, keep up the good work, the show's great, all this stuff. So I think we got out of the Octagon. So
Okay,
somehow we were in the Octagon on letter number 2. But
Maybe because we discussed like Rush early in the show, and then
I think we had a strong finish. I think that's really what it came down to. So, but that was the first. I've never had 3 emails just based on one show. So
nice.
So I can't imagine.
I mean, it's like Howard Stern. You just want to see what I'm going to say next.
I know.
You could love it or you could hate it.
That's exactly what it is. So I can't imagine what's going to happen next, considering the fact that, Brian from Berryville writes a whole book. Kyle from Vegas is writing multiple. So,
and Octagon threats.
I do like the Octagon threats. I'm not a big fan of UFC at all, but I'd go to one of those things. I'd check it out. I just don't want to be called into the Octagon. So
No way.
I'm not saving you. Like if you literally set
We've
something
already
up,
established that. You won't save your own kid from a burning building.
there is no chivalry on my side. I'll watch you take a beat down. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I can't help you with that one. So then the next one, I am so proud of this. This is probably my favorite of the mails. But Amy from State College chimed in because you made a disparaging remark about Kicks and Don't Close Your Eyes being like a well-known song. You specifically, and what she kind of cited, was you said that you can't even Google K.I. and then, best song, and that song, Don't Close Your Eyes will never show up.
Kickball will come up. Kip Purdue will come up before
So apparently,
Kicks.
So Amy did that. She screenshotted, and she had like
No
K.I. and then it said Kicks, Don't Close Your Eyes. Like one of the, it was like literally, it was literally in like the top 5 hair band songs of the 80s. And so she was like, take that, Mooney, bam. And so
That's really weird.
I'm proud of that.
She must have used Matt Wi-Fi Google enhanced like site or something.
How am I going to influence something?
Because I just Googled K.I. Kim Kardashian, Kid Song, Kid Rock, Kiss, Kids Bop, Kirsten Dunst.
Are you sure you're not on like Ask Jeeves or something?
No. I'm on Google. I can't help it if you're.
I'm not sure what she did, but from State College, that's
I can't
what
help
shows
it
up.
if to your favorite listener typed in on Bing.com and thinks it's Google.
Hey, all I know is there's more Kicks fans out there, and she showed me a screenshot. I don't know how she got the screenshot, but I don't think she doctored it.
We all
in
know
any
how,
way.
that's photo indoctrination 101 right
So
there.
anyway, Amy from State College, I'm here for you, and thank you for listening to Kicks.
And can we hire her to do some like photo indoctrination so we look good? Because apparently
she happened to be in charge of the Magruder, the Sabruder film. What's
what? Magruder?
no? It's Sabruder films.
What are we talking about? I don't know.
The JFK when they shot Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know about those.
Thank you, Mr. Mooney. You're going to be my new host from now on.
It wouldn't be hard.
Yeah,
We'd have to.
that's true. You wouldn't have to do any show prep, and so you'd be solid. The next one, and I think the last one is Smorgy.
Smorgy.
Your boy Smorgy.
God, memories.
I don't even know him, but he's now my boy too because I love the name Smorgy.
Our boy.
Our boy, yes, our boy. Oh, there's
Jeff had a saying about Smorgy
Mm-hmm.
and his parents and his brothers.
really.
Yes.
He decided that 1 out of every 11 people in our neighborhood was a relative of Smorgy.
Oh, so Smorgy's a guy who knows
like
everybody.
so like his last name. So basically, like he introduced me to like 15 cousins, like 4 brothers, and like other people, and like we would run into people everywhere.
Yeah.
So I decided like one out of every 13 people was or is a Smorgy.
That's like this sounds really bad. That's like my son. Like I'm not popular at all. Like nobody. Like I don't know anybody, and yet everywhere around here, and that's kind of cool because you see, elementary school, you see that kind of. He's 9, folks, so he seems to see everybody he knows. And we recently went to a concert in Baltimore, which is completely, an hour away, and yet.
Is that where you got hosed with the bush, where you could have taken a photo?
Yes,
God,
that one.
sucked.
So we go there. I don't know anybody. I only know the bands on stage. Yet, meanwhile, my son runs into somebody he knows. I'm like, I got little Smorgy.
Man.
So I don't know how he knows these people, but, he gets around apparently.
Don Juan.
Yeah.
Same thing in Huntington with Mama.
Oh.
Mama worked for a local school bus company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She put the person in personnel.
Wow.
She used to head up the personnel department.
There you go.
And anytime we went around in Huntington, they would all know Jody.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at you all over the place. And yet you're the most quiet person here.
In certain settings. You got it. That's what I said early. You saw when she was riled up.
Yeah.
She was ready to do the hair pull and everything.
Oh, I'm telling you. And nothing makes me happier than your voicemails. So please get those voicemails into us. So anyway, Smorgy.
What does Smorgy got to say?
Smorgy was, I guess he got inspired by, we had a conversation, and I think it was when I was telling you about Michael Bolton, and I liked his cover of Dock of the Bay.
Oh,
Better
that's
than
right.
Otis. And so
you and the School for Girls up on the road there.
Wow. If you just, I sent
By the way,
you,
I played it.
I sent you the video. Close your eyes. If you take his crazy hair out of the picture and just close your eyes and listen to it, it's a much better song.
I would rather have ice picks stabbed in my ears repeatedly than to listen to that song again.
Folks,
I would say, hey, zombie, rip my ears off so I don't have to listen to this cover.
see,
please.
we've established Mooney knows nothing about music. So,
Well, I know that about music, that Michael Bolton can't sing.
oh, that's weird because I think he's only sold 100 million albums.
Oh,
Somebody out there is
How
buying
many
them.
did William Young send about when he did his Ricky Martin thing?
Bang.
Which, by the way, I own that CD and don't think it's not solid. It's fantastic.
What is the Ringling Brothers, Barnum Bailey? There's a what born every minute?
Hey, I think he only sold maybe 1 million copies. But Michael Bolton, clearly, we all know who he is. How do we all know who he is?
I know who Rachel Black is.
You're the only one. You
Pretty
really are.
sure you
really
know
are.
who she is too.
Okay, Smorgy and company, can you please write in for next week's show? So Smorgy got inspired, and he was trying to give us...
That's what we do. We inspire people.
We do. We are quite inspirational. I'm impressed with us. And so Smorgy mentioned that he has a Stallone of covers.
A Stallone of covers. I'm
Yes.
interested because we should be the ones judging that.
And I did as soon as I read it,
Okay.
but I haven't read it to you. So he gave this heartfelt, what this song means to him kind of thing. I will tell you, the song is an amazing song. I am not a fan of the cover. But he was saying Shinedown's version of Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd is his Stallone of covers.
Shinedown's version.
So you know the song Simple Man? It's the best Lynyrd Skynyrd song ever.
Okay.
So Shinedown is a band that came out in
I know
the
Shinedown.
2000. Okay, so they did a cover of Simple Man. It's a little bit more heavier, I'd say, than the actual, Simple Man Lynyrd Skynyrd version. I like both, but I'm a fan of the original first. And so when somebody tries to cover a song that I passionately love, I automatically hate it. So I'm biased.
Yeah, you've done that before, though. There's
Yeah.
a few covers that you don't like because of your
Absolutely.
passion for the original.
Yes. And so the
Like,
original,
I Will Always Love You.
I'm going all Dolly.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But everyone in the right mind would choose Whitney Houston's version.
No, I think Dolly fans would probably go with the Dolly.
I would go with Dolly.
Thank you.
Whoa, Mom
See,
chiming in.
See, the Dolly version's much better. It really is.
But
And I believe she sang it in the
Dad
best
said
little
at the point,
whorehouse in Texas.
it's how you like the song to be sang.
Mm-hmm.
So Whitney Houston gives it a lot more pop, like like there's anger in it.
But see, Dolly has like the country tones. I like it. It's sweeter.
Yeah, but you can't be like, oh, I will always love you, bud.
But you know who?
She's like, and like there's no chance she's not always loving him.
Do you know who loves the Whitney version better than anybody?
Who?
Dolly.
What?
Dolly.
You're kidding.
Oh, she'll tell you. Do you know how much money she made off of that?
Oh,
Dolly will.
I thought she was complimentary the song
Yeah.
from a song
No,
standpoint.
Dolly will absolutely tell you that she loves that song.
But there's a thing about how MTV started and putting sight to the sound. Okay, Dolly's version, when sung in the movie, okay, to Sheriff, was a very sincere, open message, so you could feel the emotion of the song, and that's why it was sung in such a way.
And Whitney was just by like an iced over lake. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm pro
I
Dolly.
love that movie though. Bodyguard. I like Kevin Costner.
Oh, I like the best little whorehouse in Texas way better than the Bodyguard. And that's where Dolly did
I
hers.
don't know about that.
Oh, it's so great.
All right, maybe I'll have to watch
I
it.
love it. I've got the soundtrack. I own the movie.
Is it better than Rhinestone?
Oh, it's way better. It's solid. You would love it. It's funny. So anyway, so Smorgy kind of wanted to know.
I don't know that song that well, so I can't judge that cover.
You don't know a lot of music that well. We've established that.
I understand that, but to be the Rocky of cover songs, and you're going to come with that?
Oh, I agree. Okay, so we're back to Smorgy. Yeah, I thought you were talking about
To be the Rocky of cover songs, like literally 350 million people should know it.
I agree.
Mooney has very strong opinions about lots of stuff he doesn't know.
But do you want to finish that and say he's but wrong? You should say but wrong. So I can give you. Do you want me to give you some of the best cover songs?
Sure. Well, I have some of my own.
Okay, I've got mine that I like, but then I can kind of go high level with what most people would argue are the best.
Okay, that sounds good. You go with some of yours.
Okay.
I'll go some of mine, and then you hit us with the truth.
There you go. So for me, I think 1, 2, and 3 I kind of did on purpose, but my number 1 was "Mooney Mooney" by Billy Idol.
Nice.
Do you know who sang it originally?
Who cares? Billy Idol's version is the bomb.
Okay, well, anyway, originally done by Tommy James and the Shondells.
Ooh, I like them too.
Okay, get this. My next one, Joan Jett, "Crimson and Clover." Do you know who?
That's my phone dropping if you didn't hear it.
Do you know who originally sang it?
Yes, the band who should only sing it. Crimson and Clover is a time capsule piece of an amazing song, and everyone else who sings it ruins it.
Joan Jett did an amazing version. Do you know who originally sang it?
Tommy
James and the Shondells.
Shondells, yes.
Okay, so then number 3.
I can't believe you. Now I'm offended. You talk about Octagon, I'm offended. The Shondells version of Crimson and Clover is impeccable.
I like the Joan Jett version.
No.
I Think We're Alone Now by
I
Tiffany.
love that.
Do you know who originally sang it?
Probably the same band.
Yes, Tommy James and the Shondells.
Man, they get picked apart.
They got picked more than Slade. We established Slade last week, I think. But Tommy James and Shondells, and I love Tommy James. Don't get me wrong. I did that on
That
purpose.
means they're good writers. Yeah,
I
kind of figured it out
I did
after
that on
number
purpose,
2. Thanks.
but I will say out of those, "Mooney Mooney" really is the one that I think Billy Idol just owned. I like Joan Jett's voice. I like her, style, so that's why I kind of put her in there. But you can't argue the original on those. My personal,
the better version of "Think We're Alone Now" because they played in Strangers, which is why I like it.
Oh, but not Weird Al Yankovic's "I Think I'm a Clone Now."
Oh, jeez.
Awesome.
Oh.
So,
By the way, I'm still waiting for you to produce that song you said you could produce.
Which one?
Remember when we argued about how it would be easy to produce Weird Al Yankovic type songs?
Oh, easily. I can do it.
Yeah, go.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead there, champ.
I can totally do that.
Please go ahead and we'll see how
When you
it pans out.
listen to Amadeus by Falco, imagine saying hot potatoes.
Yeah, but you got to
Hot
create the
potatoes,
whole
hot potatoes.
song.
Oh, don't think I can't do it right.
Oh, that's what I'm
You want me
saying.
to
Go
do it
ahead,
on
genius
You
boy.
can do it right here. I'll bust out the song.
Please.
And totally do it.
Okay. And then make it make sense throughout the thing. You just can't throw random words in there.
I couldn't come up with anything with hot potatoes.
Okay.
I totally could.
What?
You know I love food. Don't think I can't do a whole thing
Where are you
about
going to
hot
go?
potatoes.
Cheese fries, hot potatoes? No, it's not going to work.
No, I can figure it out.
Well, go ahead.
We going to segue into potato salad?
Oh.
No,
I don't want to get my hair pulled.
No,
That-
I don't want my hair pulled and my ears pulled.
Don't get me started.
So
Well,
I'm gonna move.
no one really likes potato salad.
Oh.
Can we? Let's go back to the let's go back to the covers. I'm afraid I don't want the wooden spoon. I'm trying to.
A live version
Yeah.
of the wooden spoon.
I don't want
You
to get.
have one in the kitchen.
I know. I don't want to get beaten. So another one that I think a lot of people should know but don't know, but if you listen to the Alanis Unplugged album, she does the best version of King of Pain by the Police.
She does. I
fantastic.
agree. Yep. I'm with you there.
Then my other one,
And I'm not the biggest Sting fan anyway, but
yeah, her
Alanis-
version is amazing because in the third verse she changes it to Queen of Pain just because that's kind of her thing.
Awesome.
So it's fantastic. The next one would be Blue Monday by Orgy. So
What?
Orgy back in, I think they did it
I
in
don't
the
know
late
this.
90s. Blue Monday from New Order. How does it feel?
Oh, that's a good song.
Treat me
Okay.
like, yeah. So
My problem is I don't know the name of the song.
we've established Mooney's.
Okay.
Music
Here
prowess.
we go.
So anyway, they did a more aggressive version, which I love it.
Okay, of course I won't like it.
And then the band Wheatus, remember they did that song Teenage Dirtbag?
Yes.
Okay, so on that same album, they did a cover of A Little Respect by Erasure. Fantastic. That's my little nugget of
Wow, you got
what
some
you should
odd
check.
ones in there.
Well, I'm trying to, like, everybody can Google the top,
Right.
and like I said, when you Google the top, you're going to see like Jeff Buckley's version of Hallelujah, Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower, and my personal favorite out of the ones that I think everybody establishes is Johnny Cash's version of Hurt.
That's on my
from
list.
9 Inch Nails.
But that's
And
the
it-
more than
But I think
popular.
with that though, you have to see the video. If you,
Yes,
if
it
you
goes-
if you're not watching the video,
Well,
it's
he's got a
not
distinct
as
voice.
good. But
I like Nine Inch Nails too.
you got to watch the video. Okay, go ahead.
So two that I couldn't like, just because I don't, we all established that I'm not the biggest music fan.
Yes.
But so two of them that came to mind, Billy Joel's cover of "Make You Feel My Love" is probably my all-time favorite because Bob Dylan wrote it and performed it.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I think here's the thing with Bob Dylan, though. We can establish that his voice sucks. So, like,
No, it doesn't.
anybody who covers a Bob Dylan song is going to do it better than Bob Dylan.
No one's gonna do "It Ain't Me, Babe" better than him.
Anyone can do
No,
it better.
it ain't me, babe. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
I know how it sounds, and it sucks.
and it's all no, it's
his
not.
his voice is terrible.
Like a Rolling Stone, no one does that better.
By the way, Bob will tell you. That
Oh, stop. Here we okay.
Bob would tell you that he's a
Well,
great
Adele
writer.
covers it, and her version doesn't match Billy Joel. So bam.
Anyway, he's a great writer. I'm not going to take that from him, but and that's why when we argue Prince and Michael Jackson all the time. I would even say that Prince is one of the best writers ever, and when other people cover his songs, they do a great job. But he also does a great job. Bob, on the other hand, his voice sucks.
He's only sold 18 billion trillion records.
But his
He's
writing.
a poet.
His writing his writing prowess is amazing. I can't. Nobody
Listen
can.
to Rod McEwen.
Well, Mr. Tambourine Man's killer.
But
Although
if
Bird's version's pretty
but
good.
that's what I'm saying. Anybody with a better voice is going to make his songs better.
All right, we'll agree to disagree.
No, it's fact. But okay, go ahead.
Um,
And that's not even a sub fact. It's a fact.
Over the Rainbow by I don't know.
Judy Garland, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, that one
Oh, you're
by
thinking
Israeli whatever.
the
Oli.
fat Hawaiian dude.
Yeah, IK. His version is
No.
what? Yes. No, his version's genius.
No, it's good, right?
No, it's genius. It's absolute genius.
But you can take any popular song and put a ukulele to it and go, oh, that person's doing a
Here
great
we go
job
again.
to it. No.
Mister, I think I can do all music. I want to hear you do a ukulele song and a Weird Al song. Maybe you can
I
combine
can't play
them.
the ukulele, but I'm fat. I could. No, but know what it is? It's the same phenomena when you watch like American Idol and you see somebody audition that looks like a homeless like train wreck, and then they come out and moderately perform good, and you automatically think they're great. So you take a fat Hawaiian guy with a ukulele and go, he does like one of the most popular songs ever, and that makes him.
You're
that makes it
totally
great.
disparaging.
By the way,
wow,
you
that's-
guys should do a guest appearance on Hawaii 5-0.
We should. If I weren't afraid to fly,
I love
we
Hawaii.
established.
Hawaii's awesome.
I'll send Mooney anywhere, and we'll just do the show.
I cannot believe you. I can't believe
It's average at best.
No.
It's and the fact that the guy died. People once again,
I'm not
it's that
saying
same
that, but it
phenomenon.
would have been good if he was still alive.
Yeah. Okay. It's YouTube clickbait.
Okay. I Want Candy by Bow Wow Wow.
Oh, absolutely. Love it.
Awesome.
And I told you the history about that last episode where Malcolm McLaren basically stole the ants from Adam and created that beat.
Gloria by Patti Smith.
Smythe. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to argue with that. Love that one.
And then this one, only because I didn't know it was a cover,
It taught me how to spell Gloria, by the way.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. Apparently, it was originally performed by Robert Hazard. Does anyone know that?
Robert Hazard does, and his family. You know they're pissed.
Yeah, they are very pissed.
And so,
Sort of like Slade.
Oh, Slade is beyond pissed. But I mean, like Slade made money in Europe, so they're not that pissed. Robert Hazard
Made money nowhere.
His neighbors don't know who he
Well,
is.
apparently he can get fat, get a ukulele, and go to Hawaii and be famous.
By the way, you said his name is Robert. How is he writing Girls Just Want to Have Fun? And like, is it
Maybe he was a slayer. Who knows?
like maybe, I don't know. But the thing though is I think the song, for a great cover, the song itself has to be great. Is Girls Just Want to Have Fun a great song?
doesn't
It got Cyndi Lauper on the map, but it doesn't. But is it a great song?
well, Kiss does Then She Kissed Me as a cover of Then He Kissed Me.
Yes, but that's not something they're proud of. Like when you go see them live, they're not going to be.
They'll
doing
never
that.
play that.
That's kind of like Leader of the Pack, Twisted Sister. I think Dee Snider wholeheartedly regrets doing Leader, of the Pack.
Yeah.
And so there's some songs that are great songs that you just shouldn't touch. If you have to, so we need to. So for me, it's lightning in a bottle. It's a great performance of a great song.
Right.
And that's where like you've got like Hallelujah is just a great
Cohen.
Yeah, Leonard
Anybody
Cohen.
singing Hallelujah is better than Leonard Cohen.
Exactly.
singing
And it's the same Leonard Cohen's a
Is that
genius writer.
Hallelujah? No, what
Yeah. We don't own the rights to it. So no.
That's singing about music.
Yeah.
Fourth, the fifth.
Yeah, and it's Leonard Cohen is a genius writer, but to your point, his voice wasn't really that great. I do own his greatest hits, and you got to be in a mood. I think you have to be in the right mood for his. But when you hear anybody else sing Hallelujah, Hallelujah, you're just like you're taken to another place. Which that song has. There's a book written by Alan Light about that song and just the history of the song and how it's moved so many different places.
And people have read that book?
I sent it as Christmas gifts last year. Don't think I didn't. And no, but it's fascinating the fact that it wasn't a popular song. Leonard Cohen, it came out in like the early 80s. He just threw it on. It wasn't popular. And then I want to say like Lou Reed or somebody covered it live, which then somebody else saw it. And so it sort of,
Right. And then it made its way
that
around.
song has had legs
Social
like
media.
no other. Now everybody knows it and everybody covers it, which, by the way, the Bon Jovi version of it is amazing.
Oh, that's probably why you even mentioned the song.
It's amazing.
Oh my
I
God.
like it
You
better than the Jeff Buckley version, but most people will give
Oh
Jeff
my
Buckley
God.
the
You had
credit
that
for
segue planned from Jump Street. Jesus.
Well, if you did any planning for the show, you would know how it is, how it works. But no, I urge people to listen to the Bon Jovi version. It's fantastic.
Mama Mooney copied one today was a Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton version of "Everything Is Beautiful."
Oh, is that it? Is that your favorite cover?
Willie no.
You like that?
Yeah, I like the song.
The way they did it.
Yes.
Okay. But I think it was Ray Stevens or somebody that wrote that.
Ray Stevens, like The Streak?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think "Everything Is Beautiful" in its own way was originally done by Ray Stevens. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
You know what
hear
else?
Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson do it, and it gives it a whole different flavor.
Really?
I like
need to check
Willie.
that. I do like Willie too. I'm a big Dolly fan. Well, we established.
Yeah, we know that.
You know.
Every
What's your
third
favorite
show.
Dolly song.
The funny thing is,
The funny thing,
actually,
I never heard of that.
I like I like Jolene. It's her most popular song, so I'm a terrible fan from a perspective of that. I think she's extremely attractive,
Okay.
and so I like her from a different perspective. As far
right.
as I like her cash and her business acumen is, I think what I like the most. But yeah, I she's like 100 years old, but she's still attractive.
Not
Years
that.
old.
You're talking to people that are 76 years old.
Come on.
And she's older than you guys.
No, she is not.
No.
Really?
No, we're older than most of the people.
We can
Oh.
fact check this immediately.
I think she just had a birthday. And
73.
I don't know, but
Let's see.
But
Oh,
she-
by the way, one of my other favorite covers, Paul Anka, Ami Manera, which is "My Way" by Frank Sinatra.
the best cover of My Way is Sid Vicious. Awesome.
Oh, God, you are way off.
Sid
today. Like,
Vicious's My Way is so great.
I think you took
They play
a
it-
shower in way off water.
They play
because,
they play it at the end of Goodfellas, and it's perfect. It's perfectly
Oh my
put
God!
in there.
By perfect, do you mean bad, or like are we using opposite day, or
Tell you. Folks, go out and listen to Sid Vicious's version of My Way, and you're going to be thanking me.
What? Thanking them for realizing what the worst song ever is, so they
Hey.
know it.
I bring
Get Dolly Parton's age?
Doing it right now.
Okay.
I think she wore Air Jesuses to school.
73 years. You got
Oh.
schooled, son.
73. Okay.
Boom.
I was about to say her social security number is 1, but I got busted on that one. Well, even though I will say this, if I was not happily married and Dolly was available, I would, be like, "Hey, what's up?"
She's still got money.
Yeah, I know. I would show up with the green corduroy
And
suit
white socks.
and the white socks,
And the white socks.
and I'd be like, "Dolly."
They have a term in the old days called dashing. I was dashing.
Yeah, so I would be dashing. I'd roll up to Dollywood and I'd be like, "Hey, I don't need to pay admission here." And so
Oh, didn't you think you could get Dolly? Wasn't that one of the one on
I
your
did,
list?
yeah, because we were talking about the older women like Helen Mirren, which she
Yes.
might turn both of us down.
I think so.
Helen Mirren? I don't know. Maybe we'll
Maybe.
see. By the way, have you guys have listened to the show?
Yes.
Do
Every
you?
episode, by the way.
Thank you. Do you find it disturbing what your son would do to Alicia Silverstone's
Oh, yeah.
used food?
Yeah,
Is that
what-
creepy?
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Well, I'm
Like,
I'm
he
being
has the-
honest.
He says he has the ability to just like eat anything. Like if it's dropped on the floor,
Okay, now you understand.
I do. I have the ability to eat anything.
like if it just dropped on the floor for an hour, you're just gonna go, nope. It's
Our
good.
problem.
one of our son's abilities is to embellish, and he embellishes everything. okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes he embellishes so much he gets caught
Yes.
own embellishment,
Yes.
and then he has to defend it, and that's when it really gets funny.
Well, it's funny because he defends it. He defends it to the death. We've literally busted him on multiple things, and he comes back even harder. And I'm like, well, why didn't you argue this good for your original point? So, yeah. So
Very, very stubborn person.
so eventually, when this show blows,
Mom's shaking her head.
Yes.
when this show blows up
When
and
did
gets
you
bigger,
realize I was stubborn? Like early?
Like I just said, when we had to get that.
Yeah,
wooden
when you were
spoon
5.
out, 'cause it was going to
Yeah.
be your way, but it wasn't going to be.
He was
your way.
he was talking on a telephone, and we had one of those cord phones, not only a rotary dial, but it was
Yeah.
a cord.
Oh, wow.
And he's sitting and picking on the wall. And the wall I had done a
Mini wood plank.
tongue and groove wall, okay, of some kind of cedar, okay? And he's picking at it and picking at it. It said, Jeff. And he's picking at it, talking on the phone. Jeff. Boom. The tongue and groove comes out, off the wall, falls on the floor. And he looks at me and says, how'd that happen?
And then you turned it into a wooden spoon and beat him with it. That's what I would do. Well, anyway, it has been a pleasure having you guys here. And
Likewise.
definitely you're invited anytime.
Absolutely.
And especially when we eventually get big enough to have Alicia Silverstone on the show.
No, we
We're
won't
going
do
to
that.
have her chew up some food.
I don't want to watch that. No, thank you.
And so,
I'll do it just to be proved right.
I know. That's all I want for this show. I really don't like anything beyond that. It would be crazy, but like that's all I want for the show is to do it.
I gotta like the food though. I mean, I don't want mushrooms.
Oh, we could get her Giovanni's.
Okay, good.
We could totally get her some Giovanni's, and I think we're gonna have to, just due to time, we're gonna have to Eddie Murphy our Columbus Day argument.
Oh, we are gonna have
Because
to.
tomorrow's Columbus Day, but I think it counts for next week. Does tomorrow count as next week, or is today next week? So
Yeah. No. Monday starts the next week.
okay, so we're still
Sunday actually starts the week.
Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
So, so what we're gonna do, folks, is we're gonna postpone our annual Columbus Day argument.
we could say last week was Columbus Day, and boom, then we get into the argument.
Yes.
All right, cool.
So that's a little teaser for next week's episode. I'm gonna tell you right now.
And game shows.
That's true. We have game shows. We have a bunch of things about Eddie Murphy.
People need to write in about favorite game shows.
Yes. Okay. Write in about
That's your job.
Your
Mom
thoughts.
and Dad, you got a favorite
Family
game
Feud.
shows.
We used to play it every holiday.
We did.
Okay. There you go. So
My Uncle Robert was the best MC ever.
did he go around and kiss everybody? Like
No, but he would get to me and he goes, Jeffrey, not like you're going to get it right anyway, but give it a shot.
Yeah. And he'd go, Jeffrey, good answer. Wrong.
And then his side of the family, excellent answer.
Yes.
You're such a smart young kid.
It was so close.
So-
I'm going to tell you you're right.
So we've established in this episode that Mooney's basically been wrong more often than not.
Yeah, it happens.
It's all good. It just
Because it's an opinion.
there you go, and it's a wrong
Some
opinion.
fact.
Exactly, and it's a complete wrong opinion. Well, but thank you so much for showing up, and definitely, let your friends listen to the full show.
And we'll interview them.
Yeah, we can. I'm happy to open.
We can come down to Delaware. You'd be cool with that because we could
I
drive
used to
it.
live in Delaware, so yeah,
Not many people did.
and
We can drive it.
It was in Newark, Delaware, like right outside of Wilmington, and so so I'm good in Delaware.
There's a good pizza place there too.
There is, and so-
Caruso's.
Well, I think 10 or 15 years ago, the town we live in, Middletown, had less than 10,000 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it has 22,000.
And all 22,000 go to the Peach Festival every year, and I can't get to their house the normal way.
Which, by the way, we're going to talk about this maybe next episode, but those festivals are the biggest rackets known to man.
Okay.
I
Let's Eddie Murphy it.
Yes, we're going to Eddie Murphy it because I've got a whole thing on those festivals. So,
We got to thank the people.
yes, we do. And actually, I don't even have our plug sheet, but I do have the business card. So if you want to do
Well, we have the Andy at Underground. We already got it out.
okay, fair
We're
enough.
good.
Okay, cool.
Music and tech support, as always, provided for Subfacts by our good friend Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. And you can always find out more at www.creativeunderground.co,
not .com.
So www.creativeunderground.co, not .com, and go visit him and his peeps there.
And we are still riding high off of all the photographs that
Absolutely.
Ben from K Street Photography did for us. And that's K Street Photography DC. Let me see. I can't even read it right. Oh, I know. Sorry, Ben. It's kstreetphotographydc.com. Once again, that's kstreetphotographydc.com.
Business photography, business videography. He does the whole
the
drone stuff. Yep.
Yeah, he does a lot of drone work.
He's actually getting amazing.
And I'm noticing that he's certified FAA. Bam.
Boom.
That's official. And so, way to go, Ben. And hopefully everybody goes to kstreetphotographydc.com for awesome pictures. And you can reach us at
subfactspodcast@gmail.com. We want some good write-ins this week. We need them.
I have a feeling Kyle from Vegas is going to give us about 12 in a row, which is just to break a record.
No death threats, just emails.
Yeah. Although I would like to see the octagon. So, yes, once again, subfactspodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach us at Twitter at Subfacts1 and on IG
at
Subfacts1.
Yeah, Subfacts1, the whole thing. Subfacts.podbean.com.
And we're also available on YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts, which I find to be easier. So a lot of the folks who are listening, when they're trying to tell other people about it, just my reference point, I always use Apple Podcasts as the one because most people have iPhones. If they don't have an iPhone, they're wrong.
So
anyway.
Apple Podcasts is the easiest?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I always just send people to Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
So.
And again, YouTube's easy too. Just YouTube us and enjoy.
Exactly. And on that note, have a great Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow. And we will see you next week.
See ya.